Dave in Chicago.
Hey guys, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on, or I guess how you react to when, I don't know if it's the right word, but accommodationist, like atheists that kind of don't want to talk about religion, or they don't think it's important, or they don't think it plays any part in like legislation, or they don't want to ruffle any feathers. The whole idea of, if you're an atheist, that's okay, just don't be a dick about it. And any sort of criticism of like a religious idea, they don't even want to engage in that kind of conversation.
You go ahead. I hogged that whole last call.
I think that's okay. I think different people get involved with societal issues to different levels, and I think some people just don't like to discuss religion. Some people don't like to discuss politics, and other people do. I think it really depends a lot on the person and what the effects are.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm not saying that everyone should go up to anyone and grill them on their religious beliefs out of nowhere. But when an issue comes up, like a lot of the contraception laws or women's rights laws or gay marriage laws, and a lot of people that I know, they won't even engage with the fact that a lot of it is coming from a more religious perspective, not just a secular, legal perspective.
Yeah, I think what I would say is I'm okay with people who aren't comfortable who aren't comfortable with getting into arguments. They don't have to.
Right.
But I do have a problem with people who are basically scolding other people for getting into those arguments.
Right.
I think those arguments are worthwhile.
Yeah, and I guess it just really irks me, I guess, when they look at other atheists that I know. They'll look at people like the Westboro Baptist Church or some more outspoken anti-gay people or anti-women's rights people, and they'll say, "Oh, they're just misinterpreting the Bible." And as an atheist, they're saying they just don't have a good interpretation, or they'll look at Mother Teresa as actually deserving of sainthood, or Pope Francis being this guy who's really changing the Catholic Church, and he's like the new face. And
yeah, if you listen to the nonprofits over the last year or so, Jeff and I and Jeff and Dennis and I have been making a big issue of calling out this sort of media hype for Pope Francis and saying that Pope Francis is really good at PR, a lot more than the last guy, but in a substantive way, he's not really making any. He's not really saying things that are as radical as people think he is.
Right.
He's not doing anything to really change church doctrine, at least not that I've seen so far.
They always say, "Oh, he's in a position to change it."
Yeah, he's getting in a lot of good photo opportunities by washing people's feet and stuff. But that doesn't mean that the church's position on contraception has changed.
Right.
And that may change. That's one of those things that you sometimes have to do gradually. And if that is his aim, then more power to him. But you kind of wait until you see that before you start. I think before you start praising him.
Yeah.
He may be an improvement over the last pope or two, but we'll see.
I guess the big point is just it just bothers me a lot that kind of bubble of you're not allowed to criticize this. A lot of my atheist friends kind of subscribe to that, where it's you and I might not need it, but these people, it really gives them happiness, and we shouldn't criticize it.
I hate that thing they say because it's really condescending.
Very, very condescending.
It's like, well, I'm smart enough to be a good person, but those little people. I actually got one of the worst emails a couple weeks ago saying, I'm an atheist, but I'd like to know more about how to talk to the little people.
Yeah, it just really, really riles me.
I'm like, that's disgusting. At least have some basic respect for their capacity to think intelligently.
Yeah, I guess just wondering, do you guys have a way of reacting to that, or just kind of cut off the conversation at that point, or is it even worth having a conversation if that's kind of where they're coming from?
I pretty much let that go. I think people like to get along, and a lot of people don't like to make waves.
Yeah.
And if somebody's not affecting your life or the life of others in society, then I honestly am fine with them believing whatever they want. It's if they're passing laws that infringe on the rights of others, then that's when it becomes important, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
some people like to debate and explore ideas, and some people don't. And
Yeah, but I mean, if they're pestering you and don't like the way you talk to other people, maybe you need to find some better friends.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just want to get you guys' input on that.
Okay,
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave.
thanks for calling.